Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show, where we cover the news with a conservative spin and get a little wild and freaky deaky every once in a while, but we try to tone it down for you. We try to make sure that you're not freaked out if this is your first time checking out the Bald Brad Show, but we have a lot of news to cover because Donald Trump is drawing the red line in the sand for Russia. Democrats, well, they have hit rock bottom. Wait till we go over some of the numbers because it ain't looking good for them, and they still haven't figured it out, which is kind of an amazing thing because it's not really that hard to look back at what Democrats used to do, like Bill Clinton's era or like JFK, and go, we should go back to our roots. Maybe we should go back to that and actually be democratic, but we'll see. I'm not complaining the fact that they've hit rock bottom. I hope they stay down there. I hope they continue their crap and their charade because that just means more winning. Maybe we'll get Donald Trump Jr., Vivek Ramaswamy, Ted Cruz. I mean, I'm okay with all of them. Let's just put them in succession and we can have Republicans for the rest of our lifetimes and we can be okay. If you haven't already, say good morning, everybody in the chat. It's good to see you, folks. It's good to see you. We had a good damn time last night with Dark MAGA. Got to see Carolina Vivette smack some reporters around. And with that being said, enough of me rambling. Here we go. Donald Trump looks at Putin square between his eyes. In a flurry of activity, the president appeared to give Russian President Vladimir Putin an ultimatum this week, which we covered, and vowed to push ahead with tariffs despite a roadblock in the courts. After a recent barrage of Russian airstrikes against Ukrainian cities, Trump has become far more critical of his counterpart in Moscow. Now, it wasn't just airstrikes in Ukrainian cities that we covered here during this week on the show. And I don't remember if I even covered this portion. I did in my YouTube shorts and my TikTok videos, where not only did Dmitry Medvedev talk about World War III with Donald Trump, if Donald Trump were to do anything out of, I guess, quote, the ordinary, but he also uploaded a video of the landmass that he would like to take. And then thirdly, you had a reporter come out from, I think it was like Russia Today or something, kind of like we have like the News Today or Good Morning America, those types of things. But this person is one of the main people for the Russian Federation to like get their propaganda bullshit out. Oh, well, there we go. Swear jar. And she was saying that the Russians were saying that if the Germans were to use or give, I should say, missiles, Taurus missiles or systems to the Ukrainians to use, and if the Germans help effectuate that, then they're going to bomb Berlin, meaning Russia's going to bomb Berlin. So now we're getting like threats that are escalating into Europe, which is not a good thing. So we'll see, though, because he's given him a couple weeks here where he said he was accusing Putin of intentionally stalling on peace negotiations. And I said this is very reminiscent of what you saw not just with Hamas over there in Gaza, but you kind of see it time and time again with these people that somehow, I mean, I'm not saying Putin has always been locked in. Like he's always been a little bit crazy, but it almost seems like with age, people just go a little bit more psycho. I don't know if he's terminally ill and he's like, screw it, I'm just going to do whatever. I'm not sure, but he's definitely a little bit different, man. Where he doesn't even want to talk. He just wants to kill people. Like, geez, dude, like settle down, you freaking psycho. Over what? Some soil that you don't even need. I mean, how much, I'm trying my best not to cuss. I'm trying to be a good guy here. How much land do you need? How much? The place is already huge. Putin promised last week he would deliver a peace proposal to progress formal talks, but so far, no such progress has been made. If anything, he's launched freaking missiles. The Kremlin will only say that its proposal is in its final stages. We'll find out whether or not he's tapping us along And if he is, will respond a little bit differently. But it will take about a week and a half to 2 weeks. Last weekend, the president said he was strongly considering new retaliatory sanctions on Moscow. I don't know why there's the 2 week mark, week and a half, 2 week mark that he's giving Putin. And it could be that there was something within the negotiations of these final stages that there was, in fact, a deadline with it. Not 100% sure. If there isn't a week and a half, 2 week deadline, you got to stop with this. Oh, well, we're going to give them 90 days. We're going to give them 2 weeks. We're going to give them a week to sort it out. This shit should have been sorted out a while ago. A while ago. So can we say enough is enough and just put in the sanctions and just say, you don't want to figure it out? Hey, here, we'll lift the sanctions when you want to come and talk. That's it. Other than that, we're going to stranglehold you out. So you go do what you want to do, but the sanctions are going to be tough. We'll see. We'll see if they're going to be tough enough sanctions, because clearly there's been sanctions on them already and they ain't doing anything. So I don't know how crippling these sanctions are going to be, but I don't know how Russia is able to be in the stage of which it's in when all I hear around the world going, oh, Russia's terrible. Russia's invading Ukraine. How terrible are they? But you're trading with them. You're like doing shady stuff with them too. What the hell are you talking about? You sit down. You're doing stuff with them too, you freak. So give me a break. And then on Wednesday night, you also had a 3-judge panel from the U.S. Court of International Trade strike down dozens of Trump tariffs on countries worldwide. Trump invoked the Emergency Economics Power Act, which we talked about last night. And everybody in the chat, other than me, said that Trump has the authority to do what he's doing. And I said, I don't think so. And now we're going to hash it out and find out by June 9th. To implement those tariffs, arguing fentanyl trafficking and trade deficits constituted a national emergency. Now, this is a very broad usage of this act. And if Donald Trump is able to show that there is, in fact, a trade deficit that can be utilized and stated as a national emergency, then yes, he's able to use the act. I think, which is what you guys don't think, I think it's going to be extremely tough to prove that the trade deficit itself is a national emergency. We will see. If he can, okay. If he can't, okay. I mean, for us, nothing really happens, to be honest. I'll have to come on the show and say you guys were right, which I know you're salivating at the mouth, you freaks. I can't wait. I can't wait till that son bitch Brad is proved wrong. Talking shit yesterday. But the court ruled that Trump exceeded any authority granted by the president by the act on Thursday morning. Then you had a second federal court in D.C. issue a similar ruling saying Trump's tariffs were unlawful. The first ruling was put on hold by a federal appeals court on Thursday afternoon, which ruled in Trump's favor. That's what we were talking about yesterday, that they're still implemented. It said all tariffs can remain in place while the court reviews the case. The Trump administration says it won't be slowed down, referring to the rulings as a hiccup, and it is confident that the decision will be overturned on appeal and won't impact ongoing trade talks. And yet Senator Marco Rubio announced this week that the administration would work aggressively to revoke the visas of Chinese exchange students with ties to the Communist Party. Which, look, why'd they have visas in the first place if they had ties to the Communist Party? That's my question here. It's not uncommon for people to go rogue or even come over here and already be working with some other foreign adversary, go to our institutions, go to our research centers, even go into our military, by the way, and then sell off our information. Not our personal information, that happens too, but I'm talking about intelligence. I'm talking about schematics. I'm talking about the whole bit. There was a couple Chinese national guys in San Diego, like not too long ago, like 2 hours south of me, that sold a bunch of military stuff to the Chinese for like a long time. Not uncommon. And then you get Democrats hitting rock bottom. This is always fun. I was really excited to get to this one here. Rock bottom. There's AOC. Well, you contributed it to, you psycho. Gosh, she's crazy. Isn't she? She's hot. She's hot. But she's crazy, man. If you were to take somebody... Let's do it. Let's go to the chat. We'll come back to this. I want to go to the chat. All right, Patriots. Ladies, you could still partake if you would like. You could do it with I suppose, a man. Would you rather... Would you rather... I don't know why I did that. For those, I feel so bad for those who are on audio sometimes because you miss the weirdest shit that I do on camera. Hold on, let me back up here. You're pushing me. Leave me alone. Give me room. Shit. Back up, everybody. Back up. Damn. All right. What the hell was I talking about? Where is she? I'm here. What's happening? I'm Joe Biden running for senator. Now, would you, all right, this applies to guys, but just do the reversal for women. Guys, would you rather have a 10, a woman that's a 10, that is as psycho as AOC, or a 6, a conservative woman that is 6? Okay, so I'm going to go back. I just want to show you the picture because this might mess you up a little bit. Would you want to... You know, I'm not saying she's a 10, okay? Come on. But would you want a 10 and a 10 attractive woman, just the hottest babe you ever seen in your life, but she's psycho, Democrat, lefty, might kill you in your sleep, or you want a 6 that's a conservative woman? I know the answer. Now okay, well, hold on a second. I got to be careful here because I thought I would know the answer yesterday. And well, nobody sided with Brad yesterday. Not even one of you. Okay, yeah, I'm a little pissed about it. Okay, let's talk about it. Not even one of you had my back yesterday. I'm kidding. All right, let's see what do we got here. All right, everyone's saying 6. AOC. Oh, I thought... Drag. My heart dropped. I thought you were choosing AOC. Are you talking about from now on? I'm just talking about when, Dave, you little psycho, you. Well, when I was in my youth, baby, I would slap them cheeks around a little bit. You know what I mean? I could sacrifice a few damn years of my life to take it. All right, let's see. Yeah, everyone say okay. What is the lowest number you would go then? Let's drop it down to a 3. Now the story changes a little bit. You're like, I could take a little bit of crazy. All right. Ladies, if you want to partake too, it'd be the same. It'd be a guy that's a 6, you know? Anywho. Okay. That was a little fun. You get to know your people a little bit. I knew the guys would say it's 6 all day. Oh, I would take a 6 all day too. I'd take 6 and conservative all day. Now, here's the thing. So everybody simmer down. Here's the thing. To be fair, if I was in my 20s, I probably would have gone after the firecracker and, yeah, hey. We all wanted to get a little bit wild, right? That's what I'm saying. I was a little wild guy when I was in my 20s. I didn't date any Republican women. I dated the AOC type of women because I'm in California. I paid the price. These women were crazy. They were psycho. They were lefties. And I learned my lesson. Okay, I learned my lesson. But man, was it wild. It would have been like you guys in the 80s, Maybe some of you in the 20s. Yeah, come at me. I said it. What are you going to do about it? All right, here we go. Democrats are struggling to connect with American men. No shit. A demographic that played a crucial role in putting Trump back in the White House. A recent report leaked to the New York Times highlights the party's $20 million plan to win them back. Wow, really digging deep in those pockets, huh, Democrats? Democrats are facing the crisis of perception and policy. Well, you're the party of being a bunch of wimps. You're the party that wants to lop off children's genitals and, give them puberty blockers and hormone enhancers and not tell parents about it whatsoever. You want to abort people to the point where you're bringing RVs out and abortion mobiles to your conventions. I mean, your whole party's been obliterated. You want to allow men and women's sports, which is insane to me. I mean, I can allow it to happen in some way, shape, or form. Some of you spit out your coffee just now with me saying that. I do think men can be in women's sports. I'm going to pause because I know you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Can I build the case for you? Can I make the case that I think a lot of you are going to agree with me? That men, sometimes should be in women's sports? Let's do it. Let's do it. It's not going to take me long. It's literally going to take me less than 30 seconds. What sport, Brad, would that be? What sport do you think men should be in women's sports? Now, the term sport with what I'm about to say is a little bit loosey-goosey, but cheerleading. Who's going to throw the women up in the air and catch them? Cheerleading. You're welcome. Sorry. I mean, there's some burly women out there. Don't get me wrong. And I mean, sometimes they can fill the position, but there's not enough of them. There's not enough of them. Look, there's some women out there that could be the linebacker of the Detroit Lions, but there's not a lot of them. You're welcome. Oil wrestling. Jesus, Shib, or Dizzy. Freaking A, dude. Oil wrestling. Cheerleaders. Yeah, look. That's it. You're welcome. George, you know they should be in there. Well, okay. All right, George. All right, George, whatever. Thought we were tight. Democrats are facing a crisis again. The party's approval rating has plummeted to, oh my God, to 27%. Basically, every 3 in 10 people don't even side with the Democrats anymore. The lowest since 1990. Young men in particular have shifted rightward, with many feeling alienated by the Democrat Party's messaging and drawn to the GOP's bold, unapologetic style exemplified by the head of the party himself, Trump. Because that's how men are. The Democrat Party think men and women are the same. Half of you have raised kids before. You have kids. And you don't even have to have kids to know this. You could just observe and see that men and women are different. We can observe it right now. How many, ladies, you do this with me too, and that's 100% okay, by the way. Everything I'm about to say is okay that you do. You all make fun of me in the chat, and I make fun of you. But it's mostly the guys that make fun of other guys, and we do that because that's a way of saying, hey, we like you, and we all think it's funny. We just rag on each other the entire time. If anybody's been out with a bunch of guys, we just talk shit on each other endlessly. And you want to know something? It's awesome, and it's hilarious, and it's fun, and it's never ending, and it's great. If you do that with women, they get upset. Men want to be men, unapologetic. They don't give a shit, a flying F. We don't want to see other men in women's panties. Okay, there's some men that do that are manly men, like guys, okay? But those guys just have a weird fixation, like what is that called? Like a weird fetish. I've said people are into some weird shit. I'm not going to judge them for it, whatever. I'm not into that. But I'm not going to judge people that are. There are few of them. It's like those guys that are in the feet. I'm not into that stuff, but I don't understand it. But there's guys that are into those feet pics or whatever the frig people do. I think it's weird as shit. But hey, people are into some weird shit. I'm not going to judge them. In the same way here, they can't understand. And it's, you guys, it's not just one person. It's the entire party doesn't understand men. Do you want to know why? Right here, a bartender doesn't know anything, doing hearts out there to people. Psychos. Young men in particular have shifted rightward. Thank God. As a focus group cited in the Times report found that voters see Democrats as tortoises or sloths. I had to zoom in on that with my eyeballs for a second. Does that say tortoises? What the hell? I was like, sound it out, Brad. Tortasas. Slow and passive compared to Republicans who are viewed as aggressive apex predators. You're damn right, baby. Yeah. Good. Come to the dark side. The rivers have run red. That was a Palpatine quote for those that are Star Wars fans. You're welcome. Working class counties with lower medium incomes have seen young men gravitate toward the GOP, which they perceive as the better choice for addressing their economic concerns like job security and cost of living. Because men generally don't base their thinking off emotion and feeling. We try to problem solve. There's a lot of jokes out there. There's a lot of comedians that play off that stereotype because it's true. It's not even really a stereotype. It's just fact. Young men, particularly those without college degrees, feel that Democrats focus on social issues like gender identity or systemic racism, which is not a thing, by the way, anymore, demonizes them. Well, especially if you're a young white male, and when you have Abram X. Kennedy or Stacey Abrams or a lot of these squad members in the Democrat Party telling you that you're racist when you've never done anything racist, and that just the fact that you're white, you are racist and have white privilege. And by the way, even if you acknowledge it, there's no way of fixing it. And if you don't acknowledge it, well, you need to acknowledge it and do some kumbaya mental gymnastics to find out why you're racist, even though you're not, that you can't fix. So there's no fixing the problem. They just want to point at the problem. And that kind of goes into the joking or the stuff you'll see on TikTok or social media just in general, where there's always that cliche of the husband and wife, they come home from work and the wife is complaining to the husband about something, and guys tend to want to problem solve the problem that the wife is complaining about. But the wife doesn't want the problem solved. The wife just wants to vent and just let out all the grievances that she's dealing with at work or wherever. But the guy's mind is going, well, you could just do that. And that's going to solve the problem. Bada bing, bada boom. You don't got to do any of that. You're good. Yeah, problem solved. We don't got to go. We don't have to talk about this anymore. I solved it in 2 seconds. I solved it the moment you said the person's name that you bitch and claim about every single week. Working class counties with lower medium, again, incomes have seen men gravitate towards the GOP. And if you notice too, the GOP tend to be more manly, right? They be apex predators. Guys are going to gravitate towards that. Guys want to be around other men. We don't want to be around weak people. And I should say, not all men are like that, but a lot of men are. Like, a lot of men want to go shoot guns. You know, we want to smoke stogies. Cigars. We want to go out on a bonfire. You know what I mean? We want to go and do outrange firearms training. Like, we want to do manly stuff. We want to go camping. We want to go fishing. We want to get dirty. You know, maybe fight a little bit. I don't know. But they don't understand this, and which is amazing because it's like the easiest problem to solve, except their ideology is way more important than they can't face the fact that gender identity and systemic racism is a bunch of crap. And Americans don't want it because there's a lot of men in America, and it's these white women, white liberal women to be specific, that are just the craziest of them all. We got a lot of them here in Southern California. Meanwhile, the GOP's presence on platforms like YouTube and popular podcasts like Joe Rogan have created a cultural pull that Democrats are struggling to counter. In response, Democrats have a $20 million initiative called American Men, a strategic plan that will study the syntax, language, and context that gains attention and virality in these spaces for male voters. Now, and they're going to do this on TikTok and YouTube. So let me just show you one of these guys. Let me show you the guys from TikTok and YouTube that they are uplifting with a lot of money. Democrat. Oh, he's a leftist, really. Let me see if I can find him for you. Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen this guy before here.
Or Joe Biden. Number two. Sure.
So this guy right here. Let me see if I can find him. Be right here.
The state.
This is Parker. Parker is very good at debating. He's actually a pretty smart kid, but this is not an alpha male. This kid cannot grow a beard for his life. That, I mean, I don't even see, maybe right here. And I'm not saying you're not a man if you can't grow a beard, but this is who they want to puppet up. A kid that's iron deficient, struggling, and clearly doesn't get enough sleep, has maybe a medical issue, and that's not beating them up. It's just, this is who they want to puppet up. But they think that men want to follow Parker. Some men do. A lot of them don't. And you'll be able to find apex predators, right? Alphas that want to follow Parker. But that could be for some other weird reason. This is the other one. Let me see if I get a picture of him here. There we go. This is the other one. This is Dean. Dean is also a very good debater on TikTok. But what do you notice around the edges here? Nothing. There's no jawline, really. You know, sucked in, mouth breather. Nice kid, probably. One of the few that I could see maybe going Republican later on in their life when they wake up. Smart guy. Again, Parker and Dean are smart. Smarter than me, by the way. Like, way smarter than me. I would lose to them in a debate, put it that way. Oh, I guaranteed would lose in a debate to them. But these are not the guys that you want to puppet up and put forth, because this is not people that men generally, I'm talking men, I'm talking about the guy, most of America. The people that are going to follow these guys generally are the ones that are a little bit, have womanly characteristics, right? Want to tell you about their feelings, cry on their wives' shoulders a little bit. Might be on the coastal areas, Oregon, New York. You also have the WNBA in the mix here. This is always fun. Never been to a WNBA game. Don't plan on it. If you want to see a WNBA game, just go to a high school basketball game. It's going to be better than that. Yeah, it is fun seeing them interact with Andrew Wilson. Yeah. And see, okay, Andrew Wilson would be an example of an alpha. That's a very good example. I'm glad you guys brought that up. So if you're not familiar with who Andrew Wilson is, actually watch a lot of his debates. That guy's incredible at debating. Very interesting tactic. I don't agree with one part of Andrew Wilson's debate tactic. It gets him really far. I don't like his uncivilness in debates. He's a little bit too hard in the paint. I know why he does it. I think it's a good tactic to do it. But most people that grew up in the form of learning how to debate, whether that's through actually doing like law or going to classes for debating, or you would do like MUN stuff in high school or whatever it is, you learn a lot about being civil. And that's one of the key components in debates, is being civil. So most of these people that you see were already doing debates in like high school, or sometimes even at the tail end of middle school, all the way through college, whether that was through a club or some sort of organization. And so they've been trained in debating for a long time, how to research it, how to fine tune their points and counteract other people's points. All these people I've highlighted are very, very good. But the one part here, so this is Andrew Wilson. The guy's great. I follow him. You guys should too. It's The Crucible. And also Rob is really great as well. Rob, both of these guys are phenomenal, now working together. So Rob Knorr, if you guys want to follow both of these guys, their names are on here. You can find them on YouTube. Highly recommend listening to their debates. But that's the only thing is Andrew's alpha. Guys want to follow him. Do you notice something here? What's going on with his face? Oh, he has a beard. Okay, nice slick back hair. The guy smokes. I wish you would stop, because we need him around for a while. Kick people's ass in debates. But glad he's on our side. Ben Shapiro's another one. You know, Ben Shapiro can grow a beard. He tends not to because he's Jewish. And there's stuff around that. Notice Rob, guess what? Oh, guess what? There's a beard. Now, Dave Smith can grow a beard too, but Dave Smith, I wouldn't say is exactly a leftist. But anywho, enough with that. But yeah, Rob's great. Rob's trying to grow his channel right now. So if you guys want to go follow, say you're from Bald Brad, you can help him out. But if you go over there, tell him you're from Bald Brad sent you, and we can maybe get in with a couple of these guys. But again, they're mostly debates. I don't do debates. I like to have conversation and find a middle ground that I'm happy with. But I don't know enough about topics, and I don't want to spend hours studying and doing all that crap. I work 3 jobs. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Hey, Brad, let's do a song online. You could sing. I cannot sing, dude. You don't want to hear me sing. I would lose followers dramatically. You know, this is a Friday episode now that I think about it. I don't know why I'm not going to the chat more. I apologize, you guys. I, for some reason, thought it was another day. I'm like going over the news like as if it's Wednesday. Even in Pool League, it's not cool. I get my ass whipped by guys, but won a something against the women. Nice. Well, congrats, Miss Mom. I do think, and I was actually being sincere, I do think there should be men in cheerleading because I think that's an important aspect to have these guys that can catch these women. Women have a tough time catching other women. In general, like I said, you always find a linebacker. You always find thunder thighs somewhere. You know what I mean? Somebody that could kick all of our tushies. Bettas have beards too. That is true, but they're also wearing the women's underwear. We could spot them out, George. There is, it was supposed to be part joking, but also making a point as well, more for like the alphas. But yes, I mean, you will always find a bunch of lefty men, trans, that are having full grown beards. Just more reason to know that they're a man, though. Anyways, back to this. What was I doing here? The WNBA, just 2 weeks into the season, but it only took one game for the league to investigate accusations of racism. Oh, here we go. Caitlin Clark's team, the Indiana Fever, never heard of them before, played the Chicago Sky, never heard of them either. I couldn't even tell you what my local WNBA teams are. I don't even know if Southern California has one. And I've lived here my entire life. Some would say, well, that's just ignorant of you. How could you not know? Because nobody watches the WNBA. And Clark was called for a flagrant foul following a physical interaction with her rival, Angel Reese. After the foul, Reese began to come after Clark and taunt her. Clark's team went on to win in a total blowout. Neither team mentioned any fan remarks in the post-game news conference afterwards, but allegations of hateful remarks supposedly directed at Reese, who is black, quickly became a topic on social media. The WNBA announced within a few hours that it would investigate those claims. Obviously, there's no place in this league for that, Reese said. I think the WNBA and our team and our organization has done a great job supporting me going through this whole process. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. After about a week of trying to find any evidence of racist fan behavior against Reese, the league announced it found none. We have investigated the report of racist fan behavior in the vicinity of the court during the game, Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever game. Based on the information gathered to date, including the relevant fans, team, and arena staff, basically everybody, as well as audio and video review of the game, we have not substantiated it. The league went on to ensure everyone knows it is committed to fostering a safe and inclusive environment for everyone, and it would continue to be vigilant in enforcing our fan code of conduct. I'm sure somebody shouted something, and it might not even have been directed at her. It might not have been directed really at anybody specific, and it could have been just taken out of context or overthinking something to being racist and misunderstanding what the true nature of it was supposed to be. There's a lot of reasons why people think things are racist that aren't exact. People think certain things are racist that are actually discriminatory. They're not even really racist. So it's always interesting because we've moved the goalpost on racism, and you'll kind of hear this in the education system with the kids, where you'll say something, not the teacher, but the kids will say something, and they go, that's racist. And you're like, but that's not even, you didn't even say anything about race. That was just a comment that somebody made. I mean, at best, it would be discriminatory, I guess, but not racist. And so they don't even know what racism is. I'm sure she's too much of a dweeb to know either. She's playing in the WNBA, and well, maybe she should stick there. I don't know. She doesn't seem like a very intelligent woman. I've seen video clips of Caitlin Clark, so I know who she is only because of the news. But I don't watch it. I can't watch a WNBA. It's, you guys, I'm coming from 20 plus years of ice hockey. I referee ice hockey, like college and everything. That is an extremely fast game. It's not that I don't respect other sports. It's just so slow, like baseball. I mean, what a gig, man. You stand out there and you don't do anything for majority of the game. Yeah, you got to make sure you get some hits in. Other than that, you're sitting on the bench or you're out in the field, not doing anything. Football would be the closest thing that I watch, or like rugby maybe. Soccer's slow. I love all these sports. Like I'll go to a game and have a dog and a beer, but it's just slow, man. So I love hockey because it's fast. It's no bullshit. Get to kick the shit out of each other. And, it's the real deal, man. It's the real deal. I don't know who Shorzy is. Shorzy's funny. What's my team? My team is the LA Kings. I've been a Kings fan. So I was good in 2012. I was at the Stanley Cup game with my dad, and my mom and my sister, but it was one of the number one things on my bucket list I always wanted, because if you know anything about the somewhere in the 2000s, like not 2001, because we actually did well, but I'm talking like after 2001, we had a really bad slump. Like we were the worst team in the league for a lot of years. So I've been a Kings fan my entire life, like the Western Forum days, great Western Forum days. I was actually at the last hockey game with the Ducks versus Kings with my dad at the Great Western Forum. I think it was like $18 for any seat in the house. People were ripping off bathroom signs at that last game. That was the one game. I know I'm going on a tangent here, but it's fun. It's Friday. We could do this. That hockey game, I have never seen this since, by the way. And I watch a lot of hockey. Let me tell you, I've watched a lot of hockey. Sound like Chubb. I've watched a lot of hockey. I'm telling you, it's big, beautiful. I've watched it all. I've watched a lot of it, a massive amount of it, an ungodly amount of it. There were so many fights that game. There actually was not enough room in the penalty box. They didn't know so guys were standing up, and then they didn't know what to do because they've never had a scenario like that where they didn't have enough room in the box for all the guys that were fighting. It was every drop of the puck was a fight. It was the one of the top hockey games I've ever seen in my life, other than a Stanley Cup game. It was awesome. Just Kings versus Ducks, two Southern California rivals, old school 90s hockey, just beating the crap out of each other. Every drop of the puck in the third, the place was erupting. I get goosebumps still. Goosebumps thinking about it. Core memory, baby. Core memory. All righty, let's get into some other news here. We covered this yesterday, but I want to talk about it again. Bongino gives update on FBI's investigations of Jeffrey Epstein and J6 pipe bombs. I do want to see if I have my clips. No clips. Okay. It's weird that the clips are kind of hard to find lately. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino Thursday gave updates in the case on the planted pipe bombs on J6 and the death of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, you might be saying, well, Brad, I was here during Dark MAGA. Why are you hashing this out again? Because there's a bunch of lies that are being told about this video about Jeffrey Epstein online. Even what's happening, once I got done with Dark MAGA last night, I go and do some more show prep, or kind of see what's going on in the news, see if there's any themes happening that I want to cover, it would have been today. But what I saw regarding Bongino's clip from Fox that he was doing when he was talking about these pipe bombs, but he's also talking about the Jeffrey Epstein tape, was that people were putting in their thumbnails that Dan Bongino said that we have the tape of Jeffrey Epstein deleting himself. But you would know, by the way, it wasn't just one outlet. There were so many people saying that Dan Bongino said that he has the clip of Jeffrey Epstein deleting himself. He was specifically asked, let's see if we can find it. He was specifically asked, hey, you have the tape of him deleting himself? He goes, well, no, I don't have that. So here we go. This is it right here. People are taking the same exact clip and lying about what is being said here. So here we go.
Those two cases obviously are of significant public interest. I'm just telling you what we see in the file. I just want to be crystal clear on this. I am not asking anyone to believe me. I'm telling you what's there and what isn't. Right. There is nothing in the file at this point on the Epstein case, and there's going to be a disclosure on this coming shortly. We are working through there is video. That is something the public does not. There's video of him killing himself. No, not the.
Just going to go back here. I mean, you couldn't get more of a clear question and a clear answer.
That is something the public does not. There's video of him killing himself. No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC Bay. There was only one camera. There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release. That's what's taken a while on this. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans. You're going to see there's no one there but him.
Right.
There's just nobody there. So I say to people all the time, if you have a tip, let us know. But there's no DNA, there's no audio, there's no fingerprints, there's no suspects, there's no accomplices, there's no tips, there is nothing. If you have it, I'm happy to see it. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
And I was thinking about that comment. Remember how I said last night, I don't understand why Dan would even comment about the video of him being in this cell by himself. Like, we would imagine that's the case, because I believe he was on suicide watch already or something like that. So you're not going to put him in the cell with another criminal that might delete him for himself or whatever. It's just a very weird statement by Dan. And you guys, I watched Dan every single morning after my show, because he would go live, and I would listen to him or watch him. And if it wasn't in the morning, I'd listen to him later in the day. I watched every single episode of Dan Bongino for a long time. Like, why would he say that? Because he's not an idiot. And the only thing still that makes sense to me as to why he would say, hey, we're going to release the tape for you, is that maybe in the area of the prison that he was at, that he was legitimately, maybe there's other cells next to him. There's just nobody in that entire block. It's just him by himself. That's my best guess of why he's saying, well, he was just there by himself. You can see him go out by himself. He goes in by himself. He's just in that whole freaking area. They just gave that whole area to him. So who's going to delete him if he has the whole area? Well, you could still have somebody come in and do a bunch of shenanigans. Why were the cameras off? Why did the guy fall asleep? Why were the logs not correct? I mean, it's just thing after thing after thing, where at what point do you have so much air before it turns into, well, you did this on purpose? Very similar to the guy that tried to make the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Oh, how many errors with the Secret Service and everything else do you have to go, I'm not so sure that this was by accident anymore. I'm not so sure. There's just too many errors involved before it turns into, this seems purposeful. Yeah, this just seems like somebody did it on purpose, the whole thing. So again, people are saying that Dan Bongino has the clip of Epstein deleting himself. That's not the case. Okay, again, that's not the case. The pipe bomb one was the other one that he was very much into on his show. Bongino noted that the Biden administration curiously showed a lack of interest in the pipe bomb case, while the feds prosecuted more than 1,000 people who protested on January 6th. For years, I never knew there was 2 pipe bombs. None of us did, by the way. Why would that not be huge news? Mind you, there's videotape of it. I want to point out there's videotape of the pipe bombs. There's photos of them. How is it that we kept seeing like the same 5 to 6 minutes of tape for years on loop, like the same exact montage? And then it comes out when Tucker Carlson was still part of Fox, I believe, where he goes, well, it turns out there's 40,000 hours of tape that you haven't been shown. Well, that's weird. Why? 5 minutes, 40,000 hours. That's what they do. And we've said it time and time again. The Democrat Party and the progressive left will use extreme outliers as a narrative to lie to you and gaslight you as if something is horrible and atrocious. And sometimes it is, but it still doesn't play into the grand scheme of narratives of what took place, which is why you saw people with their hands in their pockets, walking around the Capitol, getting a tour by Capitol Police. And it wasn't just the people going inside the Capitol. Capitol police officers were also walking around kind of gazing at pictures and looking at the nicely waxed marble floors and just, hey, guy, can I bum a cigarette off you, bud? Yeah. There's some people that are coming in. So how's the weather? You going out with the family this weekend? It's not as bad as people are making out to be. It wasn't good, but it also wasn't that bad. And then you had them lying about it. And you would think that they would also go, yeah, there was pipe bombs right next to the vice president. She walked right past those pipe bombs, at least one of them. The other one was outside the RNC. Why was that never shown? Why was those street camera videos never shown along with that 5-minute tape? I would have been like, okay, that would have helped escalate the issue for me, going, okay, that's not good. How did that get there? And by the way, we have video of the guy planting it. How do we know that? Because I showed all of you the tape. We walked, I mean, how many times? We watched it at least 4 times. We watched it a lot. A lot. Okay. So we'll see if we get answers here. Again, it's pretty early for that. In the same way, look, you guys are like, hey, Brad, give Tom Homan time to cook. That's fair. I am giving him time to cook while ripping him a new one, because maybe he'll hear this and go, all right, Brad wants more. We're going to give him more. Now, I'm being silly. He doesn't watch the show, but we know there's some important figures that do, by the way. They'll watch every now and then. How could you not? We're a great show. I'm kidding. But there are people that do watch the show that are actually pretty important. But that's here nor there. I'm just frustrated, okay? And this is part of what we do here. We air our grievances out on the show. Brad, it was plan B if the J6 wasn't successful. You might have been right. Yeah, that might have been true. I mean, they were both found within 15 minutes of each other and right at the beginning of it all. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think you could be right. I still don't know, by the way, if those were plants. What I mean by that is not like a physical plant, like a dummy bomb. Because what Dan Bongino was talking about is sometimes the Secret Service will plant these things and see if the dogs are able to find them, or did they screw, like a training, as a test. And so he still wasn't exactly sure if this was or wasn't. He was leaning more towards it wasn't, because that's something that would come out like, hey, yeah, these were here. It was just a test. I don't know. We'll see. I guess Democrats are now targeting Elon Musk, even though he's left. He's officially gone. Democrats are now ready to let go of Elon Musk, are not ready to let go of Elon Musk, one of their leading political targets, now that he is parting ways with the Trump administration. Remember, Musk is a Democrat. He's not a Republican. I don't even think, did he register as a Republican? I'm not so sure if he did. Musk has drawn their ire for months due to his efforts to help President Donald Trump, cut waste, fraud, and abuse from the federal government with Doge. The billionaire tech entrepreneur is moving to rededicate himself to his companies. Good riddance, but where are we at here? Musk has drawn their ire. Good riddance, but Musk isn't off the hook for his chaos and corruption, Elizabeth Warren said. We must hold him accountable. For what? Hold him accountable for what? The guy's done nothing. Jasmine Crockett, this new psycho, who is reportedly pushing to become the top Democrat of the Powerhouse Oversight Committee, also put Musk on notice. I mean, look, I don't care if somebody's white or black or Asian or what, but she's a little ghetto, because you have white people that are ghetto. She's a little bit too ghetto for my liking, man. She's a liar. She is manipulative. She's basically AOC. And I'm not a big, again, white people do it too. It's not a black thing. Ghetto, by the way, ghetto is actually more white than it is black. Just a heads up. There's more people that are in the ghettos that are gangster or acting like a muck, silly, than there are black people. So it's actually more of a white thing than anything. Just, you guys know what I mean, right? She just comes off as wrong and just ghetto, like the kid that thought it was cool in high school to not do your homework and do well on exams. And like, I don't fucking care no more, homie. I don't give a shit. I'm going to be something. I'm going to be a congresswoman. It actually happened. Elon came to Washington thinking he would run the government like one of his companies, firing people left and right, gutting essential services, and tearing this bleep up from the ground. What he did is the definition of waste, fraud, and abuse. See how stupid she is? These are exact quotes, by the way. It's time for a full investigation of the damage he's caused and for the truth to come to light. Let's just say that we never knew Elon Musk was doing Doge right now. Would you even know that anything was happening? Probably not, unless you were one of the people that got fired. But other than that, you wouldn't even know. I just want to go back and read you these quotes again. Can we take a moment, please, to really just bask in this? She grew up rich. Now she acts ghetto. Well, if that's true, that's a very common theme of people to do as well. It's weird because I've worked at really low income schools. They're called like high need schools. Like don't have any funding. You're basically almost using still chalk. You're not, but you get what I'm saying. Like you have to buy your own expo markers to even teach. But I've also taught in like the high extreme wealthy schools. I've done both. I've seen both. It is weird when you're at like a private institution, like a private high school that is a very good high school, like one of the top schools in the nation. I've worked at them. And you get these kids that are kind of, they're uniforms, right? You have to wear uniforms at some of these really nice schools. And they'll like sag their pants, like, oh, fuck, what's up, dog? Like, oh shit, homie, like, what's up? Like, bro, you are at, it costs like 30 grand a year to go, sometimes 40 grand a year to go here. What are you doing? You live in a like the house that this person or people live in is like multi-million dollars, and they're acting like they're fucking ghetto. Like they're part of like MS-13. You know what I mean? They got the teardrops and the tattoos. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You look like an idiot. You're sagging your pants as if you're some like Latino gangster. Like, what the fuck? That's so common. You guys have no idea. That is so common. People think that's cool nowadays. The white kids, the Hispanic kids, the black kids, all kids think it's cool to be dumb and be gangster, even though they don't even know what it's like to be really gangster. They know what it's like to be dumb, but not gangster. Because they're going to go home to mommy and daddy's 3-story mansion right off the beach there and, still sag around the house, I guess. And that's one example of what I'm referring to, but it wouldn't surprise me is what I'm saying if she grew up wealthy and was still, kind of, what is the term? Hold on a second. I'm learning new things here. I got to go to Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary. I'm gonna look this up before I say the word. Let's see. Okay. Ratchet. Urban Dictionary. Ratchet. A bitch who is also ghetto. There you go. So I was gonna be right. I was gonna be right then. I was gonna use the word ratchet before. I was like, okay, I just want to make sure this isn't like a racist term or something because I don't know words that well. May exhibit these attitudes: sassy, smart mouth, temperamental, nasty, mean, childish, rude and crude, obnoxious, unruly, out of control. Did I not fucking nail it? Did I not just nail this word perfectly to describe her? I guess I do know words. Look at this. Indirect, direct aggression, mean girl behavior. This is literally, ratchet is the best word. Okay, well, Mizzy has one as well. Means skank ass hoe. There you go. Okay, Mizzy. Shit. Well, that's in there too somewhere, I'm sure. It's somewhere in here. Shit, you guys are so, look, I thought I'm mean sometimes. You guys are way meaner than me. She is ratchet, right? Yeah, it's a good word. All right, so I'm good here. I'm safe. All right, anyways, come on. Here we go. All right, simmer down. So I want to read her quote again because it's the epitome of stupid. Elon came to Washington thinking he could run the government like one of his companies. Yes. That's what you should be doing. I'm not saying you're in the form of making a profit. Right now, you actually need to make a profit because we need to pay off the debt at some point. So yes, you should run it like a company. If you did run it like a company, you wouldn't be spending frivolously on stupid shit. So yes. So there's first sentence, dumb already. Firing people left and right, gutting essential services and tearing this bleep up from the ground up. Well, you would usually start at the bottom and work your way up in some cases. It depends what you're looking at on the sheet. But also in how you categorize it, right? You could technically have all the low stuff at the top and all the expensive stuff at the bottom. It depends how, again, you organize this data. But she's an idiot. She wouldn't know that. She's probably never seen a spreadsheet in her life. She doesn't know the difference between her ass and her mouth. Probably the same thing in her opinion. Firing people left and right, that's what you do in gutting essential services. Well, not all services are essential. No, I'm sorry, but you transing mice is not essential. You sending $59 million in condoms allegedly to Mozambique is not essential. You doing all these climate things are not essential, that do nothing to climate. So dumb, again, dumb, dumb, dumb. What he did is the definition of waste, fraud, and abuse. That's the dumbest part of what she said right there. You would think, if you just listen to Democrats, it's a remarkable thing what happens when they talk. They start off dumb, right? Like, you're going to hear the first thing that comes out of their mouth and you're going to go, man, that was really dumb. And then the thought process goes, and this has to happen quick, right? Because they can never shut up. You go, there's no way. There's no way that they're going to say something dumber than what I already thought was rock bottom dumb. And they always will exceed your expectations in that regard. Case in point right here. This first, basically 2 sentence, you'd have a run-on sentence is what they would call it. You would think there's no way she could say something dumber than this. Nope, it's like Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, the whole panel of The View. What he did is a definition of waste, fraud, and abuse. She's dumb. If she spent more time learning about business and how things function in business than she did with her makeup and hair that's clearly caked on and way overdone, looks like a clown show, the type of one if you put a poster board up to her face, you could actually see her face in the poster board, she might be actually good at some of this stuff. It's time for a full investigation of the damage she has caused and for the truth to come to light. She wouldn't know truth if it smacked her in the face. As it stands, Democrats in Congress can investigate Musk and make requests for interviews and documents. However, because they lack a majority in this House and Senate, they do not have the power to subpoena or schedule official hearings. Remember how we just got done looking at their approval rating of 27%, which is insane, by the way? This is what they think a good usage of their time is. Going after Elon Musk, that is one of the major figures. He's like the Einstein of our time. He is like the Tesla of our time. I mean, he is one of the biggest geniuses that we get. I mean, how fortunate are we to be able to live in a time where you have somebody like Elon Musk and you get to live during that era? There's not going to be many of them, folks, and you get to live during it. And they think this is a good usage of their time. Rather than figuring out their party of why they don't need to be ratchet here and maybe figure out how to stop being like that, they go, let's do more investigations. You know what? Do it. I don't want them to do it because you're going to put Musk through hell. I don't think that's right, like what they did with Donald Trump and his family. But you almost want them to because it's just going to hurt their approval ratings at the end of the day. The truth will come to light. Can I see? I got to do this. Come on. Wow, what's her name again? Jasmine Crockett? Ratchet Crockett? That's what I'm going to start calling her. Jasmine Ratchet. Instead of Crockett, Ratchet. Can we start that? Can that be a thing on social media? Jasmine Ratchet. That should be her name. Because she is. I mean, there was not, I really don't think there's a better word to describe this woman. Let's see what I can find for you guys. Here we go. Here's one. This one's going to be great. Here she is.
It's not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal. It's a crime. It's not a crime.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
It is not a criminal violation.
It's a very good quote. Very good quote. Oh, you think we're done? We're not done yet. I got another one for you.
I've seen limited success because
again, she's hot. I'll give it to her. She's hot. But she's crazy. Can you imagine going home to this? Look, the looks are going to fade. That's the problem. This is all going to fade. You might not think she's hot. I think she's hot. But looks are going to fade. And you got to deal with this personality for the rest of your life. I mean, you would jump out of a 4-story building, wouldn't you? You guys don't think she's hot? Hold on a second. Time out. We're going to the chat again. No. Hold on. Time out here. Men, ladies, everybody partake in this. Do you think she's hot? Yes. or you don't think she's hot. That's the no. Is she hot? Yes. Or you don't think she's hot? No. I'm in the yes category. And that's okay. You could look people, you could call out people good looking. That's fine. Even if you're taken, it's not a big deal. Jesus. Really? Oh, look at the lady. I was looking for Miriam. I love Miriam, dude. Miriam's so spicy. Stop it. Really? What the hell? Okay, well, I'm more looking towards the guys. Okay, this is all the ladies are quick with it. Okay, Krager says, okay, Krager says at a quick glance, yes, but no. Okay, I know, okay, remove the personality. I get that. The personality ruins it all. I get it. I get it. We're just talking about looks here, folks. Come on, work with me here. Sea-Dog, no. Am I the only... She's so far from hot, Brad, it's not funny. What's happening this week? 2 days in a row. Are you guys screwed with me? Is this just like, hey, we're going to wait it out to see if everybody goes against Brad? Shit. I feel beat up a little bit. Okay. Whatever. Fine. She's all mine. You can't have her.
Because many companies who committed to providing broadband went into default after radically underestimating their cost. It doesn't say anything about diversity. And the final thing that I will say is that this election, I didn't ask you a question. The final thing that I will say is that this election is the best example of why y'all are so afraid of diversity, equity, and inclusion, because then you can't have a simple-minded, underqualified white man somehow end up ascending. Instead, you've got to pay attention to the qualified black woman that is on the other side. And with that, I will yield.
Oh, God. Hold on a second.
To the qualified black woman that is on the other side.
That qualified black woman. Dave said Brad can fix her. You can't know. She's a lost cause. I'm just saying, look, she's pretty. That's all. But look, I feel like I gotta defend myself here. You guys are fighting me. Let's fucking do it. I am saying, if you were to... Why is my hat crooked? Nobody's going to tell me my hat was crooked. All I'm saying, for those that are at work right now, God bless you for still tuning into me after this show. Folks, let's remove the personality for a moment. It's a turnoff. I get it. I'm right there with you. 100%. You're walking down the street, la-di-da-di-da, and, you know, she walks into the coffee shop that you're in. And, you know, she got booty. Hold on a second. You're sitting there, right? Slurping on your freaking coffee, just. Okay? And you see out of the corner of your eye, you don't even see what she looks like yet. You just see this. Hold on. Zoom in. Booty! You just see that standing in line at Starbucks. Okay, that's Starbucks for those that are not awake yet. And you just see that, right? Hey, who is that? I say the booty. The booty. And then, according to you guys, I'm going to show you what happens when they turn around. That's what you're saying is happening at the moment. Hold on. Come on. Work with me, camera. You fucking hate. Come on. Oh, shit. Oh. Right? You were this before. Oh, damn. Putting on that old school HBO 1 a.m. midnight porn music. Bow, chicka, wow, 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 chicka, wow, wow. Can I get a latte with milk? Oh, shit. Now, I don't think that's necessarily happening here. The booty part, probably. The booty. Personality aside. Politics aside. Okay, see, Krager's coming around. All you needed to do is massage the shoulders a little bit. There you go. She's a 6.7. Krager, I think you're going to bump that up to an 8. I think you're going to bump it up to an 8. What Brad is trying to say is she's not for him, but he loved to butter her muffin. All right, I ruined it, but let me read it again. What Brad is trying to say is she's not for him, but he'd love to butter her muffin. Brad's trying to redeem himself. You're damn right, Steve. Robin says those fake eyelashes look like a tarantula's died on her face. Yeah, there you go. See, Pat's going, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? See, I knew it. I know my people. I know the ball bread army's coming around. First of all, John, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Big fat zero. But Lulu's coming around. She's a 7. It's amazing how everyone's like, no, she's not at all. Oh my God, she's horrible. 6.7. Now we got Lulu in the mix, a 7. Does anybody want to be honest in here now? Okay. Shh. Anybody want to be honest with me now? Because you guys have been beating me up all week. You haven't been, you haven't been siding with me as much. Are we going through something? There you go, Dave. Dave's a 6.9. It's amazing how we went from nothing to something really quick. Really quick. Interesting. Interesting how that works out. You just let me talk a little bit more, explain myself. Now we're pulling out 6s and almost 7s. Huh. Karen says her looks at 5 at most. Well, Jesus, Dave. Dave says 6.9 at best, and then he didn't want to give me the dignity I deserve, and he changes to a 6.9 on the retardation scale. Damn you, Dave. If only by look, she's a 6.6. Wow, really? I was going to give her I was going to give an 8. Damn. The fuck? All right. That's cool. All right, well, okay, let me redeem myself here. I'm going to redeem myself. One moment. I'm going to give you what I think is the best. I'm going to redeem myself. Anna Paulina Luna. That's a 10. Come on. Put it in the chat. Anna Paulina Luna from Florida. A 10. You're welcome. There we go. There you go. A 6? Miriam, a 6 for Anna? Turn that 6 upside down, Miriam. You're drunk. Oh, Dave's being silly. No, she's a 9 and 10, man. All day. Yeah, see, there you go. I redeemed myself. You're welcome.
They actually try to use it against me and hit me on it, but they're trying to do sports.
Anyways, there's more of her, but yeah, that's Anna Paulina. Oh yeah. On that note, that's a good note to end on. That's a very good note to end on. I think even for the ladies it is. All righty, who we gonna raid today? It's getting kind of hot in here, isn't it? It is kind of actually getting hot. I'm glossy. All right, let's see here. Who should we raid today? Who's gonna be lucky today? Anybody have any good? Oh, let me send you guys over to Rumble. You guys really, people enjoy the rating. And you don't gotta be in there for a long time. Just go in there, make some small talk with people, and they get all excited over this stuff. They're excited over us raiding. We will be back here. I'm going to try to do something this weekend. Spooky Adventures will be back tomorrow. If you're not over there, you got to go over and subscribe. Find me on TikTok, Twitter. We do have a book. We have Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America, available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon. Sometimes Walmart even has it, believe it or not. And a bunch of goodies over there on my website. We got merchandise. We got all sorts of stuff. Wow, we're killing it right now on viewership. I am going to see who... You know, I don't think... let's see if anybody has anybody in the chat. Other than that, I think we're just going to end it here. Yeah, check out Comics Dad's channel. He just got part of the Rumble Creator Program, so congrats. And glad you're over here, man. It's good seeing you. Voice of Rural America. Let's send you over here. This seems kind of fun. Seems like a small creator. I'll send you over this guy's channel. Let's light up his chat. He seems pretty small guy. Here we go. Patriots, take care of yourselves. God bless you.